Defensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
They go play action here on first down. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's second down. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall, and now it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Mariota. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
On first down, Newton. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now the rookie out of Georgia, Sonny Michel. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And now the offense for Detroit.
The NFL's comeback player of the year in 2016 is Jordy Nelson. He couldn't duplicate the magic last year with his quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the shelf for a big portion of it due to injuries, but he's still well respected around the league. If you want to run press coverage against him, be prepared for him to run by you.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. That's
going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level, that's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stacked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Looking for the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. To throw on second down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Going deep downfield for Ross. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 34. Newton on 1st down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Marcel Darius never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they will run it with Michel. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Sony Michel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Now Prater to add the PAT. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Here's Humphreys. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the 1st quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball, and that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. They've got... And Detroit getting set to go now. Now Newton on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. From the gun, here's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Looking deep downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Eric Kendricks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long here for Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Bryant has it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And that's complete to Lewis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And now he'll tuck it and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On third down, Newton. And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that great. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Mariota now on second down. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Bears on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now a first down throw for Newton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Second and 10, Newton again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ross, and he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw on second down. Newton, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A big 30-yard play on third. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw on second down, Newton, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Cam Newton on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Prater for the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now a second down throw for Mariota. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, Mariota. He finds Humphries. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Ready? 1, 8. Flag to hook.
Now Mariota. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. And they're going to go for it here on the 4th down try. Mariota's going to stay out there. Mariota. He's airing it out for Sanu. And my goodness, this is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get things started up in Lambeau. Miami making the trip north to take on Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. David Johnson has a touchdown run. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden. Charles Davis.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Now Dion Lewis to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
by the time we have to
leave the booth.
On first down, Newton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Michelle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
Newton now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Newton. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
From the 50, Newton. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
20.
Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to air one out. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Martavis Bryant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Here's Humphreys. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away. Shocker. Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Mariota on first down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Watch 81, fellas, watch 81.
Mariota now from the 50. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 7. Able to slither by. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Martavis Bryant and the offense getting set to go again here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Newton on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. On 1st and 10, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Newton to throw to Michelle on the screen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Newton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Now Newton on first down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Here we go, fellas. Express!
Study to the right. Move. 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Lions on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Carl Lawson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Humphreys. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter gets this out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. It's caught. Humphries. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. The Bears on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Mariota again. Goes underneath for Henry. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Mariota now on 2nd down. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. 3rd and goal. Mariota. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Out left side here to Bryant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the same play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it. But I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Second down, Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in.
Here we go. Express! You got 3 down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Tiny's on the Ringo. Tiny's on the Ringo.
Great.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.